All right, welcome. Today we're going to be going over the Week 10 schedule of the 2022 NFL season. Going to be making our predictions for each of the games. As you can see, last week went 9-4, and Jake went 8-5. So hopefully, I can have a little bit of a better week this time. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. First game we have between two division rivals. We have the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Literally, a game we had just about like 2 weeks ago. So what a Thursday night matchup. I mean, this division wise has big implications for whoever comes out on top of this one, but considering both these teams lost last week. But looking at it, I'm probably honestly going to go with Carolina. I think they're going to be able to bounce back a little bit better, especially what happened to them last week against Kansas City. And on the Atlanta side of it, I mean, I could definitely see this one coming as a W for them, and I could really see this going either way, but I just like Carolina a little bit better on this one. I think they play a lot better at home, so I'm going to go with Carolina for this game. Next game we have on the schedule, first ever NFL game played in Germany. So this is between the hot Seattle Seahawks, and they're going to be against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are fresh off that last minute win against the Rams. So looking at it, I really want to pick the Buccaneers, but Seattle's making it really tough for me on this pick, considering how well they've been doing and what a surprise they've been this season. Geno Smith, comeback player of the year. Pete Carroll for sure, maybe coach of the year candidate for the job he's doing. But honestly, I really think that win that Tampa had last week is going to be big momentum for them going into this game, and I think I'm going to go with the Buccaneers on this one. I think that is the win they needed to pretty much save their season. I mean, I know it might be a little early to say save their season, but considering how many games in a row that they lost, that was a big win for them. But looking at it, I could really see it going either way. But I'm going to go with Tampa Bay on this one, just considering that I really think they're going to ride the wave of that momentum from last week. So give me the Bucks for this one. So this one should be a great game. So at the recording of this, I am unsure if Josh Allen is going to play. I'm going to assume he is going to play. So this is at Buffalo, and they're coming off that tough loss to the Jets last week, and then Minnesota, still only with one loss right now, and as you can see, their only loss came to the only undefeated team in the league, the Eagles. So listen, man, I'm gonna keep saying it, and I know I've been beating it like a dead horse, but I'm just not a believer in this Vikings team. The team as a whole, good team, but the quarterback's not it. I will die on that hill. Just Kirk Cousins is not that guy. You know, maybe in this game he might do it, but if it's under the lights, primetime game, in a playoff game, I don't trust him. I really don't. So I know this is just a regular season game, but it's big, and I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills on this one. I think, them coming home, especially after losing to their in-division rival, I think they're going to have a very, very bad taste in the mouth, and they're going to come back and fight. And this is assuming Josh Allen plays as well. So if Josh Allen plays, definitely going with the Bills. Even if he doesn't play, I'll probably still go with the Bills. So give me the Bills on this one. Next game, we have the in-division opponents going at each other. So we have the Lions at the Bears. Bears, what a turnaround it's been for them. And as much as it pains me to say that, they've had a nice turnaround. Even, last week, although they lost, that was probably one of the more impressive losses of the season, especially considering their opponent. But, man, it hurts me to have to pick them, but I'm going to go with the Bears on this one. I just think that no one has really, really figured out Justin Fields yet. And you give him Chase Claypool, which was big last week for him, and he's only getting better. And I know this might sound like a hot take, but are we sure he isn't the best quarterback out of his draft class? Because Justin Fields is, really, really made a case for it. I mean, that's a whole different topic for a different day, but Justin Fields has been playing out of his mind, And even the games that they're losing, they lost to the Dolphins last week and then the Cowboys the week before. Both of those are top 10 teams. So, and they were in those games. They were in those games. Even in the Dallas game when it was looking like a blowout, they crawled back. So, on the Detroit side of it, I want to pick my team, but I gotta just keep it real. I just don't know if we're gonna have a answer for Justin Fields. Although our defense played great last week, so I'm gonna actually go with the Bears for this one. All right, next game we have the Jaguars at the Chiefs, and this is in Arrowhead's first matchup between Trevor Lawrence and Patrick Mahomes. So this will be a really hyped up matchup, I think. Jacksonville coming off that win against Vegas, so I think Kansas City is they're gonna win this game pretty handedly. I think last week was a little bit of a wake up call, playing against a good defensive team like the Titans, but I think they're gonna bounce back this week and. They're going to take care of the Jaguars pretty handedly. I don't think I need to go into this one too much. I'm going with the Chiefs. Next game we have the Browns at the Dolphins. So this is on paper a pretty damn good matchup. So, what a season Miami's having, in all honesty. I wasn't a believer in them at first, but from what I've seen from them these past few weeks, I'm really, really starting to believe. And if Tua's healthy, man, they just don't lose. They don't lose. So, that's just facts. So, looking at this matchup, I like it. I think the Browns' defensive front is going to make it hard for, the Dolphins, but it's Miami. You still got to cover Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. You still got to stop the run game. Give me Miami for this one. I really think that they've got something special going, and they're a team that really should be getting looked at as a legit contender. I mean, like I just said, I wasn't a big believer in them, but I'm starting to buy some stock in the Dolphins. So for this game, going with the Dolphins. Next game we have the Houston Texans at the Giants. So man, the Texans got a lot of fight in them. I'll give them that. They got a lot of fight in them, and they stuck in that Philly game last week. But both these teams, Houston. They're going to have more than a week off, considering they played last Thursday, and then the Giants coming off the bye. It's going to be in East Rutherford, so I'm going to go with the Giants on this one. I just think they play better at home. They're coming off that bye, which is much needed for them, and just think they're the better team on paper, but I think Houston's going to fight them, like they've been in a lot of these games this year, so give me the Giants for this one. Next game we have the Saints at the Steelers. Steelers also coming off a bye. Looking at this one, I really want to... This one was kind of a toss-up for me to pick up, but I think I'm going to actually go with the Saints for this. I know they didn't really show up on Monday night, but there was a couple plays in there that really could have turned the tide of that game and made it closer than what the scoreboard really appeared. And they stuck with it. They hung with that Ravens team for, as best they could. And on the Pittsburgh side of it, man, it's just a rebuild year for them. The Steelers fans will never admit it, but they're not going to make the playoffs this year, and they're probably going to have a losing season, the first one for Mike Tomlin. So it's time they just accept it, that he finally had a losing season. But I'm going to go with the Saints on this one. I'm just not a fan of this Pittsburgh team, and although they're coming off a bye, I don't think that's enough for me to pick them. So give me the Saints for this one. So this will be an interesting matchup. We have the Broncos at the Titans for this next one. So Titans, man, they stuck with the Chiefs last week, man. They gave them hell, and they really almost could have won that game. And that's with the first-year quarterback, Malik Willis. So on the Denver side of it, they're coming off the bye, so they've got that rest. But what I saw from that Tennessee defense, man, they're tough guys, and they will play you. And we saw what they did to the Chiefs, and of course, man, they still have King Henry, and there's still not an answer for stopping it. For stopping the run game. There's not a formula to stop Derrick Henry, and I think that he's going to have a field day against this Broncos team. So give me the Titans for this one. Next game, we have the Colts at the Raiders. Man, what a disappointing matchup this is. Maybe at the beginning of the season would have been a better better matchup. But looking at it now, both these teams just so disappointing. Probably the two most disappointing teams so far. But you know, I'm just gonna get this one over with. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I think they bounce back at home, and the Colts, they're gonna have a new coach, still running on that new quarterback. So Raiders, I think, bounce back. They're at home, so give me the Raiders for this one. Next game, we have the Dallas Cowboys going to Lambeau and playing the Packers. So talk about disappointing teams. Green Bay is definitely one of those disappointing teams that I just mentioned in the last game, but they're disappointing as well. Looking at it though, I don't think I need to talk about this one too much. Where Cowboys, their defense it's suffocating, man. And Micah Parsons is what a guy, to have on your team, man. I'm telling you, he is something special. And just on their defense alone, I want to pick Dallas on this one, and I'm going to pick Dallas. But not even considering the offensive side of the ball, but they can get it done offensively. But give me the Cowboys for this one, man. Just I don't think Green Bay is going to be able to stand up to these guys. Even at home, man, this Dallas defense is going to give Rodgers fit. So give me the Cowboys for this one. All right, next game we have two division opponents going at it again. This one is against the Cardinals, going to LA and playing the Rams. So this is interesting. Both these teams below expectations again to start the season. And the Rams coming off that crushing loss last week to the Bucs in the last minute on a vintage Tom Brady comeback. So I think that's going to be fuel for them. I really think that's going to help them win this game. I'm going to pick the Rams for this one. Just Cardinals, man. Just one of those teams that they've done nothing to impress me. I think the only impressive thing they've done this year is maybe where Kyler Murray ran for like 80 yards on that 2-point conversion, against the Raiders in like week 2. But other than that, they haven't done shit to impress me. So give me the Rams for this one, man. I don't think I need to go over it anymore. And then this next game, Sunday Night Football, a California battle between the Chargers and the 49ers. This one in San Francisco. This is going to be a good one. I think this is going to be a serious fight. And unfortunately for both teams, I know they have injuries stacked on both sides. But 49ers, man, coming off that bye, what they did before the bye against the Rams, just making them look straight mediocre on their home turf. And the Chargers, man, sorry to keep mentioning it, but another kind of disappointing team that's underperformed a little bit. Yeah, they're above 500, but looking at it, they really should be better than what their record says. And in all honesty, I know, like I mentioned, they have injuries, but 49ers, on paper, I think they have the best roster in the league, man. And I think that's going to show up. They'll be at home, prime time. Give me the 49ers for this one. I think the defense is really going to give Justin Herbert fits. And, we're just starting to see what Christian McCaffrey can do in this offense with Kyle Shanahan. So give me the 49ers for this one. And to end the week, Monday Night Football, we have in-division opponents going at it with Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles. So don't think I need to talk about this one either. Give me Philly. It's at Philly. They're going to be pissed after they just lost the World Series. So I'm going to take them to win this game. It's prime time. And going to improve to 9-0 or 10-0, whatever, one of them. But yeah, it's going to be I don't think a very close game. So I guess we're going to find out. So give me Philly for this one. So those are my picks for this week. Let me know in the comments who you have for each of the games. Appreciate the support you guys have been showing these past few weeks. So as always, like and subscribe, share, do what you got to do. And I thank you for tuning in. And we will see you next week.